What movie was better than the book and why? Kingsman is better than the comic, mainly because they didn't follow the comic all that much. Big Fish. The movie explores the wondrous world of the father's outrageous stories, but the book lacks all that lavish imagery. Instead, it's just a bitter retelling from spoiled child who thought his daddy didn't love him enough. Jaws, because everyone in the novel is a terrible person, and a lot of the tension in the film is removed because the guys hunting the shark just get to go home every night in the book. Steven Spielberg said when he read the novel he found himself rooting for the shark because the human characters were so unlikable. The movie got rid of the unnecessary subplots like the mayor's involvement with the mafia and Ellen Brody having an affair with Hooper. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The book was supposed to be written as film noir, but it ends up as a disjointed mess. The characters are there, but they have none of the charm of the movie. Eddie isn't a good man, who's ruining his life with booze after the loss of his brother. He's a drunk asshole, just because. Roger is dead, etc. The plot is also different. The movie took the idea of humans and tunes interacting, and went in a completely different direction. Forrest Gump was way better than the book it was based on. Came here for this. Read the book in high school because I loved the movie. The soundtrack for the movie was my favorite album for most of my junior year, but that was it was something. Anyway, that being said, Groom did get the right flavors of the Deep South and especially Alabama into that book. Still, the movie was better. The Mist, even Stephen King agreed. Battleship. The book was just a bunch of rules. The Devil Wears Prada. I have admiration for the people who made the story for the screen, because the book is nothing similar. Amazing movie that came out a very May book. The Notebook. Rachel McAdams brought flair and charisma that wasn't in the book. Shawshank Redemption. It was part of a 4-part novella released by Stephen King. The story was very short but very well written. I just feel like the movie really captured the spirit of the story and gave some depth to the characters. Plus, the acting was great. Same with Stand By Me. Out of the same collection. John Hammond from Jurassic Park was much better in the movie. In the book he was kind of your standard greedy businessman. In the movie he was a dreamy idealist with good intentions, which made it so much more heartbreaking when the park inevitably failed. Edit, not speaking about book versus movie as a whole, just my opinion on the one character. I think Arrival was better, and that's coming from someone who really liked the short story. The movie is just better at telling that story overall. The Godfather. I like the book, but the film is phenomenal. The Prestige again, good book, phenomenal film. The Silence of the Lambs. It was incredibly drawn out at times and they were right to cut a lot of it out of the movie. The author also feels the need to describe the hell out of everything and it gets tedious to read. Last of the Mohicans. Boring slog of a book, epic period piece action movie. Might be unpopular but I think The Princess Bride. I found Buttercup's character way worse in the book, even to a point where I was like okay dude cut ties, you're better off without her, and in the movie I never feel that really. For fans of the movie, there's a book called As You Wish by Cary Elwes about the behind-the-scenes stories of making the movie. It's a great and funny read. There's crazy shit like Andre the Giant 16 seconds farts and him passing out in a hotel lobby because he drinks alcohol by the barrel, or Mandy Patinkin slapping Andre because he wasn't saying his lines fast enough. The audiobook is fabulous. Cary reads it and does voices for the other actors who have passed on. I highly recommend it if you have a road trip coming up. Shrek. They took a 36-page book and turned it into the greatest movie of all time. The version of 12 Angry Men. I found the book boring but the film resonates even decades after I watched it. Slumdog Millionaire. I feel that it's somewhat cheating, in regards to this question, for films like Slumdog Millionaire, Forrest Gump, and Jojo Rabbit because they aren't even trying to be faithful adaptations. They take a lot of liberties and go in a lot of different directions than the source material. So whether it's even the same story as the book Q&A on which it's based is debatable. but I certainly enjoyed it more. Dances with Wolves. In the book, Dunbar stays with the natives and I felt it was out of character with what had happened before. In the book he is even packing his things to leave, but it's then convinced to stay. I feel the movie was the better ending. Plus the sheer epic scope of the landscapes and the buffalo hunt were even more incredible than I pictured in the book. That movie is one of the greatest westerns ever made. Les Miserables because Valjean's inner debate lasts about 100 pages and the opening number is about a third of the book. It just goes on and on. You're telling me you didn't enjoy the huge tangent about the intricacies of the Parisian sewer system? The Martian, mainly because the visuals were amazing and it made the story so much better to be able to see everything.